Hey everyone, welcome back to Attack on TCG. Fluff here, coming back at you guys with another Dragon Ball TCG video. I've been kind of sick this week, so if I sound a little deflated or a little stopped up, or if you hear me kind of suck some drainage back, that's because that's exactly what's happening. And I didn't quite get the chance to test this deck as much as I wanted to. So by no means do I believe this deck is as good as it could be or is as perfect as it could be. I do plan on testing this deck more and revising it for you guys. I've kind of already noticed one thing with the deck that I kind of want to change in future testing, but I just didn't get a whole lot of chance to do that this week. So this week we're talking about Shenron Oolong's Wish GT. I'll try to come up with some clever name for it. Maybe I'll call it like pigs and a Goku or something. I don't know what we're gonna do here. But the whole concept of this is to use the Dragon Ball leader with the scheming Oolong and Oolong's Wish in tandem with the GT line of cards. I really like the GT stuff. I've wanted to play with it for a long time. I've never really liked Pan as a leader. I see where she's good, but she doesn't really fit my playstyle. And I don't really like the red Shenron leader too much. I just think it works so much better with this, even with the errata on triple flash. But getting back into what the deck does, we've got the Dragon Ball leader. The Dragon Ball leader, of course, can't attack, but can tap itself once per turn to find 2 Dragon Balls in life or deck, add them to hand, and then once you have 7 Dragon Balls, you flip it over, grab a desire from your drop area, revealing your Shenron. The Shenron, in my opinion, is one of the best leaders in the game right now. Can't attack, but once per turn will allow you to draw, play a desire from your hand whose energy cost is less than or equal to your current energy count, and then the last effect is removing all the Dragon Balls from your drop zone, picking one creature or one battle card, giving it 15,000, and then, or I'm sorry, giving it 10,000. Yeah, it's 10,000 and then triple attack, which is awesome for going off later in the game. It works particularly well with this deck, that especially that last. If you can time it so you don't have to use the second to activate a free desire to get your plays going or anything, this last effect is absolutely brutal in this deck. So, getting into what the meat of the deck, we play. This is our only counter in the deck, but we play 4 of the heroic duo Videls. When it's a counter attack, negate the attack, pay the energy cost of this card, and then play it on the field, then you've got a free 5,000 combo. I would have loved to have played After Image Technique, but it requires a red leader. I don't really love Vado's Assistance. I just felt like this offered more to the red engine, specifically the GT stuff. So this is what we're playing for the Shenron deck as far as a counter negate. But we do run a couple other defensive little cards that you'll see later. We actually don't run the pint-sized warrior Son Goku. I might find room for him, but I didn't really see a need for it. The next one that we run is the determined Super Saiyan Son Goku. I'll pull one of these a little bit closer so you can see it up close. He has critical, when your life is 4 or less, increase the energy cost of this card in your battle area by 2. So this deck is not defensive, and your opponent might perceive this deck as being really slow and clunky, and then just come out of nowhere and just knock their teeth down their throat. And this is one of the reasons for that. We don't have a lot of early turn plays, like turn 1, turn 2. We're not really playing a whole lot. We're not being super aggressive. We're not really giving ourselves away as far as what we're doing and what we're building up. But determined Super Saiyan Son Goku, one of our stepping stones for everything else in the deck. So we do, of course, run 4 of him. Next, kind of in the GT realm of things, we do run 3 of the combination attack pan. I chose this over fearless attack pan because we're not running intensifying trunks and we're not running chain attack trunks. So, but combination attack pan, if you have a Son Goku GT or Trunks GT with a 25,000 or more power, you can play this card from your hand for free, and then activate main once per turn, choose one Son Goku or Trunks in your battle area, it gains 5,000 power, which is going to do a lot for getting the effects of some of our battle cards off here a little bit later. But we do run 3 of these. I've contemplated running 4, but 3 right now seems to get the job done. You see them as you need them, and they really lead for a late game explosive play. Kind of keeping on with our GT stuff, we do run 3 of the Victorious Fist Super Saiyan 3 Son Goku. So this evolves from that determined Super Saiyan Son Goku that we showed earlier. It does cost 1 red energy, and then you place 1 card from your hand for the EX evolve. He has double strike, but then auto once per turn when this card attacks, switch it back to active mode, then it gains 5,000 power for the duration of the turn. So this is kind of our second step in the chain if we were counting chains, if things are in a perfect world and we're able to go the full distance with this. This would be kind of the second step in the chain. After having the determined, we'd play him down, attack with him, he'd switch back, and then we'd EX evolve into our next friend, who is the Triple Flash Super Saiyan Son Goku. Now, a lot of people thought that maybe the errata would super hurt this card, but this card is still fantastic in every right, even considering the errata. So EX evolve 1, and then it's 1 red with a Super Saiyan Goku GT or a Son Goku GT of 5 or more. He does have deflect, so Cold Bloodlust won't be able to hurt him. He has triple attack, and then when you play this card, you draw 2 cards, and you may not EX evolve for the rest of the turn. Now, it was actually his permanent that got errated that required the red leader for him to ignore negates if his power was over 40,000. But, so he can still be countered now, but if you use him with your leaders, with the Shenron's ability to give him triple attack, it's basically like the secret rare Vegito from set 2, where you're attacking 3 times for 3 damage each. So unless they're flying nemesing you, you're just going to attack. They're going to waste a lot of resources to get over this. If you've got the pans, his power is going to be no less than 40 or 50,000 by the time he's done. And then if you're using the Shenron stuff, he's going to be up to near 60,000. So they're going to have a lot of trouble unless they're able to provide 3 negates to get through all 3 of those attacks. But we do run 1 more step in this engine. And sometimes, depending on the setup, we can just ignore Triple Flash entirely and go for the Hyper Evolution Super Saiyan 4 Son Goku. So I've got a friend at one of our locals, Thomas Higgins, who kind of showed me a skeleton of this deck, and I didn't like this card. I never really liked this secret rare until he absolutely just beat me into the dirt with it, and I saw the beauty in this card. So EX evolve 1 red energy, place 2 cards from your hand into the drop zone, and it requires a Son Goku GT with an energy cost of 6 or more. So we can step into this from either the Victorious Fist Super Saiyan Son Goku or the Triple Flash Goku. But we can go into him. Now, if you've got a large hand, I've had games with this where I've been able to attack with this card 8 times. So I've never... And just look at his effect. When this card attacks, it gains 5,000 power for the duration of the turn. Then, if this card's power is 6,000 or more, it deals 1 damage to your opponent's life automatically. So when he attacks, whether the attack goes through or not, they're taking 1 life, even if they negate the attack. And then, if you've dropped a few pans or you've used Shenron's effect to give him more, that 60,000 is incredibly easy to reach in this deck. Especially if you're coming off of a Victorious Fist Super Saiyan 3 Son Goku. That's 5,000 from that, so that's 45. Then if you drop 2 pans, that puts you at 55. If you use the Shenron leader ability to give him triple attack, that puts him up already over. That puts him at nearly 70,000. And then he's going to gain 5,000 every time he attacks after that. And so his activate main, place 2 cards from your hand in the drop area, switch this card to active mode. So if you're not able to give him Shenron's ability to restand himself and attack again, he is able to restand himself. So you can attack, pitch 2 cards, attack, pitch 2 cards, attack, pitch 2 cards, attack. And once he gets over 60,000, every one of those attacks are dealing 1 point of damage, even if they negate the attack or blocker or whatever they do. So this guy is amazing. You don't really generally have to combo with him or combo in tandem with him to be beating your life with him. So generally, this is one of the cards that I will go out of my way to try to find or save in my hand. It is a little bit win more, but it's a fantastic way to finish off a game. And it's just a pretty card. Now that's really it for the GT stuff that we run. But finishing off our red battle cards, we do have 4 of the Scheming Oolong, which is a 2-drop, requires 1 red. When you play this card, if your leader card is a Shenron card, which it is, and Oolong's Wish is in your drop area, draw 2 cards. He's a 15,000. He fits under a couple of the other cards that we've got going on in this deck, and obviously this gives it away. We do play Oolong's Wish, but being able to play him and draw 2 cards is amazing for recovering. If you're trying to play tempo and trying to recover from a cell chain, or you're trying to dig for finding the hyper evolution Super Saiyan Force on Goku, this guy's awesome. And he's not a bad little swinger himself. I mean, once he's out and he's done his thing, you can just swing with him. You don't really care at that point. But Scheming Oolong, very underrated card out of set 5. Kind of defensing, moving into a little bit of our defense stuff. We do play the Deadly Defender Son Goku. He has barrier, and then if your leader card is black, which it is, this card is in rest mode. Your opponent can't attack your leader card, and then he goes to 15,000. So I was really up on the Shenron U11 deck, and this card pretty much single-handedly prevented me from being able to OTK someone and with the U11 deck, and it made me see how much I undervalued the Deadly Defender cards. So we do run some of these in here. We run 3. Our super combo, we run the Temporal Rescue Trunks. Is a sparkling 5 super combo. Once you have 5 cards in your drop area, when you combo with it, it gains 10,000 and you get to draw a card. These do fit under Shenron's, which segues into our next card. We do run 2 of the Shenron Figure of Majesty. These guys are awesome for retapping energies turn after turn, or playing wasted Oolongs, or grabbing pans that have been tossed away. I think pan fits under this. I think pan is the... nope, I'm sorry. So technically none of our GT stuff fits under these, but the Oolongs fit under these. So these aren't a super priority in this deck, but they're definitely good, and they're definitely worth going out of your way for, especially for extra drawing and playing that Oolong again. And their second effect is their last effect, the plus 5,000 power and critical, is also not bad, especially if you're pairing that with like a triple flash or something that you want an attack to go through on. This is kind of one of my iffy cards that I don't know if I'm going to keep, but it's gotten me out of a couple tight situations so far, is the Shenron, the Wish Granter. This is the 5-drop. I was really super excited for this card out of the new set. He can't attack and requires Sparkling 7, so you have to have 7 cards in your drop area. You can activate, when he's played, you can draw 2 cards, and then choose one of these effects. So you can retap 4 of your energies to switch them to active mode. You can choose one battle card with an energy cost of 3 or less from your drop area and play it. So this lets us grab, say if we need the determined Super Saiyan Son Goku back, he can grab that. He can grab another pan. He can grab an Oolong. He can grab a super combo. He can grab a Deadly Defender. This guy's just awesome. And then the last one, choose one choose one leader card or battle card. It gains 15,000 power and triple strike for the duration of the turn. So in combination with this and the leader card, you've got a one battle card that, regardless of what it had before, now has triple attack and triple strike, which is equivalent to a pretty powerful card that is going to have plus 25,000 battle power. So if we're comboing this with, say, the secret rare hyper evolution, or we're pairing this with the triple strike, or we're pairing it with the 6-drop Super Saiyan 3, this is pretty awesome. And then once they're on the field, they can't really attack, so they're just, you really want to just combo them off and then either bring them back later or just let them be done. I'm considering dropping these for a pair of foreseeing hits, because this is really the only reason that this deck has to go to 5 energy. If I didn't have this card, this deck would not have to play 5 energy. So it could play 4 and then just be done at charging energy at that point. But because of this card, I do charge to 5 energy in this deck because it has been nice before. I have played 2 of these in one turn before. It was pretty awesome. Then for our Dragon Ball stuff, we play 7 of the regular Dragon Ball cards, and then we play 1 of the 1-star ball. So the regular Dragon Ball cards, when you play it, they're free cost. They cost you nothing, but you get to draw a card. The 1-star ball, actually, it does cost 1 energy. But when you play it and your leader card is a Shenron, you draw 1 card, choose 1 card from your hand, and discard it. Then your opponent has to choose 1 card in their hand and place it in the drop area as well. But they also don't get the draw. So I actually really like this card in this deck. This sets up Shenron plays. It sets up Oolong. It sets up a couple different things in this deck. So I do really like this, especially when you pair 1-star ball with an early game Dragon Radar. I'm running 2. I might bump this up to 4 total. But Dragon's Radar is just never bad in this deck. So if you get Cell Chained and you have to discard all your Desire cards, you can play this card and grab 2 Desire cards back from your drop area. Early game, you can use it to search the top 7 cards of your deck and find a Dragon Ball or a drop or a Desire card in the top 7 cards. Or you can, early game, use this to grab the 1-star ball and make your opponent discard subsequent turns. I kind of want to upgrade these. I really like them at 2 right now. They don't feel cloggy. There's times that they're in my hand and I don't want to use them. I just feel like 4 would almost be too much in this deck. So right now we're running 2. Now we're kind of getting into the Desire aspect. We do play 4 of the Oolong's Wish. Oolong's Wish is a pretty simple Desire card. It's a 1 cost. When you play it, you draw a card, choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards. It gains minus 5,000 power for the duration. So if it's an Intensifying Power Trunks or a Gohan, it's going bye-bye. It's gone. If it's a blocker that you're concerned with or a Deadly Defender, actually, it wouldn't hit Deadly Defender. I'm sorry. Negate that. But if it's a blocker or something that you're concerned about, Zoiray would be gone because of this. And it's just awesome. And we only need 1 of these in the drop area, but with Dragon Radars, we can grab these and add them back to our hand. So we do run 4 of those. And then I run 2 Child's Wish and 2 World's Peace. So the Child's Wish allows us, pull it a little bit closer here. The Child's Wish allows, as long as we have a Shenron leader, you choose 1 battle card in your drop area with 15,000 less power and an energy cost of 3 or less and play it. So this lets us grab back the determined Super Saiyan Son Goku. This lets us grab that Pan. This lets us grab our Super Combo. This lets us grab Oolong. I mean, this card is just all around versatile. I love this card, and because we're running Dragon Radar, I don't really feel a need to run more than 2 in this deck. But this is a clutch way using the Shenron leader to get into your Hyper Evolution Super Saiyan 4 Son Goku without spending any energy but the 1 to play him. So, and then we have World Peace. which allows us to grab a battle card in the drop zone with an energy cost less than or equal to our current energy and play it. So if we're playing 4 energy, we can grab the 4 Shenron back. My most common use for this is grabbing the 5 cost Shenron, or grabbing a 4 cost Shenron. Though if we got to turn 6 and I knew that I needed to use this to play the Victorious Super Saiyan 3 Son Goku, I totally would. If I take the 5 cost Shenrons out, I'm probably going to drop World Peace in favor of more Child's Wish. But right now, that is where the GT Shenron deck is sitting at. Like I said, I think this deck has a lot of potential. It's super fun. It definitely struggles against a couple of the big meta decks right now. Like, it struggles a little bit against Veggies because Veggies are so aggressive in the turns where this deck just kind of has to wait until it has the energy to play what it wants to. It struggles a little bit with recovery from Cell, but it is really good against defensive decks that want to wall up and be defensive, because the more defensive that a deck is against this deck, the stronger this deck becomes. I'm really looking forward to testing with this deck more. But if you guys have suggestions, things that you'd like to see me do, if you'd like to see me build Triple Flash in the Red Shenron leader, leave me a comment below. If you'd like to see me do more with the GT engine itself, let me know. I would love to explore this archetype more. I'm really just starting to do it myself. But let us know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you're checking out the other things that we've got going on the channel. Our channel gets a little bit of attention from the Dragon Ball content, but if you like Dungeons & Dragons, check out Wasted 20s. If you like beer, check out Talkin' Tipsy. It would absolutely be awesome. And we're not saying the stupid catchphrase anymore. I won, so we will see you all next week.
What catchphrase, Fluff?
It's dumb. We're not doing it anymore.
What is it, Fluff?
Bye.
What is it?
Bye.